Hey guys, Jonathan here, and I just got back from the Ant-Man and the Wasp QUANTUMANIA red carpet premiere. I literally can't believe I even get to say that, but I wanted to come back to my Airbnb here and give you my reaction to the movie. Now, I can't talk spoilers because of the review embargo, but I can give you my reaction to the movie, and we can talk about that. So, let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll go ahead at the end and tell you about what it was like being on the red carpet, because it was a dream come true. So, my reaction to the movie is the visuals are absolutely crazy, and I love what they did with all of the aliens in the movie. Like, whoever designed these aliens needs to get hired by Star Wars right now, because it's a very, very original movie on that front. As far as the big picture movie itself, I think it's actually going to be pretty divisive, because it's more like a Star Wars movie than a Marvel movie. It's got, like, space opera themes, it's very epic compared to the previous two Ant-Man movies, and I think a lot of people are going to see that as a good move, and some people are going to wish that it was more like the other two Ant-Man movies. If I'm being completely honest with you, I need to see it again before I can make a full assessment of how I feel about the movie, because it's that different. In fact, I was expecting it to be different going in, and it was even more different than that. As far as our characters are concerned, everybody wants to know about Kang, and I can assure you that Kang is epic in this movie. The scale that they use him at is absolutely insane, and I can't give spoilers as to what happens or anything, but what I can say is Jonathan Majors absolutely crushes it in this role. I'm super excited to see all of his variants as the multiverse saga continues to unfold, and in this movie, I think that what they do with the character, have to speak lightly, is going to be divisive as well. There's something that happens toward the end that is like, wonder why they're choosing to do this with this character. Hopefully you pick up on what I mean when you see the movie yourself next week, but for right now, I'm like, not really sure why they decided to go the route they did. But it's not really the end of the world. It's just something that kind of has me scratching my chin walking out of the theater. As far as the other characters, it was awesome to see the entire Ant-Man family work together, meaning Cassie and Janet, who have been missing for, the previous two movies because Cassie didn't have a suit and Janet was in the quantum realm for basically the entirety of the other two movies. It's really cool to see them work as a family unit. Of course, Michael Douglas, one of my favorite actors of all time, absolutely crushed it, but I think the big surprise award goes to Paul Rudd. You think of all the Paul Rudd movies you've seen, and typically they tend to be very comedic roles. He kind of plays Paul Rudd. He's got this certain characteristic about him that he uses in a lot of his movies, and there is that in this movie, don't get me wrong. But the difference is, in this movie, you see him act in a dramatic way against Kang, because Kang is stone cold. He's very stoic, he's very calculated, and Scott, is dropping jokes left and right, but I think as you see the movie go on, that changes. Now, Bill Murray is in this movie, and there's not a ton I can say without getting into spoilers, but what I will say is it's cool to have one more legacy actor in the MCU like that. What I will say is this is the first movie of the MCU's Phase 5, and I think the good thing about that is we finally have a direction for where the MCU's going. You could kind of see a roadmap, because in Phase 4, I felt like they were just kind of random movie plots thrown at the wall. Post-credit scenes never really paid off, and we don't know when they're going to pay off. I'm looking at you, Multiverse of Madness. But this one is really cohesive in the fact that it sets up where we're going. Speaking of which, make sure you stay for both post-credit scenes. I mean, come on, if you're watching the video at this point, I know you know that, but especially, I was going to say especially the second post-credit scene, but honestly, they're both pretty epic. And finally, I just want to talk a little bit about the red carpet experience, because it's something that I'd never gotten to do before, and hopefully I get to do it again someday. But it was really cool to, walk a red carpet in Hollywood. That was absolutely epic. They had the suits on display, like the different costumes and things like that, which was absolutely awesome to see up close and in person. And they do take your phones and put them in these, magnetized locked bags, so I couldn't take pictures in the theater or anything like that, but I saw a ton of celebrities there, including Alice Cooper, the rock star. John Sebastian from the band The Lovin' Spoonful, Tara Strong, the voice of Harley Quinn and Miss Minutes in Loki. And then as far as Ant-Man cast, you know, the entire cast was there, but it's a big, big party afterwards, so it's kind of hard to be in the right place at the right time and meet everybody, but I did get to meet Peyton Reed, the director of the movie, and at the end of the night, I got an absolutely terrible selfie with Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, but still, that was pretty darn cool. It would have been awesome to meet Paul Rudd, but at the end of the day, I really have nothing to complain about because it was absolutely epic. The whole thing was great. I'm very, very grateful to Marvel Studios for making it happen, but I also have to give a big, big shout out to my friend Brandon Davis at comicbook.com. He's a really good friend of mine back in Nashville, and he invited me as his plus one that opened the door to this, so shout out to Brandon. Appreciate you, man, and I had such a great time. Thank you. Alright guys, that wraps up my reaction to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Let me know what you think of these thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and until then, let's get small.